Good afternoon, good night, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Kathleen Fraser. Anyway, I have discovered, well, I just came back from Long Island. Ugh, I don't like driving at night by myself because I'm very easy to end up, turning off on the wrong road and going in the wrong direction, which fortunately for me, that didn't happen today because that's what happens when I drive at night. All right. Sometimes I end up like getting off before turning off the wrong exit or whatever, whatever, and then I have to drive and drive and drive and drive to get back to where I should be. Anyway, so I discovered because I said, let me look this up to see exactly what on earth, the regions, if they made any changes to the regions. Because I remember telling you sometimes they do change things around. So when I left teaching, the critical lens was still in place. So I discovered, like, earlier this morning, I think the wee hours of the morning, that they don't have critical lens essays anymore. They changed a few things, and they don't even have the one I was telling you what to do, like practice listening and whatnot. They don't even have that either. They have reading comprehension and an argumentative essay, and then they have something called a text analysis response, which is, I think they say you could write up to 3 paragraphs or something like that. So, wow. So the English regions change a little, but interestingly, though, even though there's no critical lens, they still have to use a literary device to express the central idea of some reading material that they're going to put on the test. They have to read the material and come up with, let's say, a viewpoint that they want to prove. And then they have to use a literary device as evidence to support whatever the point is that they want to share. And I find that very, very interesting. It's not really far off from the critical lens essay, quite frankly. But in this instance, they're not giving you a quotation. You have to figure out what you want to say about whatever it is. I have the paper right here. Let me see what it say. Your task: closely read the text provided on pages 21 and 22 and write a well-developed text-based response of 2 to 3 paragraphs. In your response, identify a central idea in the text and analyze how the author's use of one writing strategy, which they're referring to a literary device, develops this central idea. Okay, so basically, you have to use a literary device to support the central idea. So it's like quite similar to using a literary device to support the critical lens, right? So it's really not a big difference. Well, it's a difference, but it's not so different. But in this instance, you have to use your own intellect to come up with something in whatever the reading material is that you want to prove using the literary device. So I just wanted to share that with you. A lot could change in a matter of fact, a lot could change in one day, not even a whole day. A lot could change in an hour. Sounds like I'm telling you guys, like, this could be used for the critical lens and whatnot. And I also even gave tips on how to improve your listening skills for the that other exam section that they used to give, where you have to listen and take notes and then write on what you listen to. Wow. The only thing that really, from what I can see, remained the same was really the multiple choice. Because there's a part A, a part B, well, a part one, a part two, and a part three. So the multiple choice is basically, I guess, technically, seriously, you could still practice listening to and taking notes of what people are saying, whether it's music or wherever, your soap, whatever show you like looking at, and that will help you, improve your reading skills even. Yes, it will. So the strategies I gave you for one other scenario could work for another scenario. All right. So I'm just wanting to share that. So I'm going to continue on. Excuse me. I'm going to continue on sharing with you the literary devices, right? And then the other essay that they have to write is an argumentative essay. That is, I think, let me see, is that a part two? Because I have to get with the program. Yeah, the literary essay is part two. It's called, the argument essay is part two. All right, and the multiple choice is part one. And they could still get 100, but they just have to be careful with the composition, with the comprehension, and all these different things. But it's doable. All right, so instead of finding works of literature, like, going through your brain, like with the critical lens, you have to identify two works of literature to support the quote. But here, they give you whatever the reading material is, an excerpt of something or whatever. You have to come up with a central idea. So let's say you are reading an article on it's better to wait till you're in your late 40s or to get married. Let's say the article is about waiting till you're in your late 40s, or just waiting till you're in your 40s to get married. And the article is about that. So you read the article, you pick some point from the article you want to prove, and then you use a literary device to back it up. You could follow the same techniques that I shared with you on how to do the critical lens essay. The same structure I gave you, you could use it for this. But this one here is like 3 paragraphs. All right. Okay, I'm gonna go. After that drive, I really am kind of like really, really tired. So have a blessed day. Bye.